to CFG Game Cast, episode number 208, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers who like to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode weekly and release it on all podcast services, so do us a favor and show us some love. Give us a like, follow, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, the CFG channel, or go to our main website, freaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. If you want to throw some ducats our way and support the podcast, you can do so by becoming a VIP member, just like Vicky G and Red Velvet, by going to the CFG.store for some extra goodies. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today, I got my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
It's been a week. I'm back to full-time streaming, which, exciting. Gosh, we played a lot this week. I can't even think of all of what we played. We played Labyrinthine for sure. Some Demonologist, played some Lethal Company. It was all fun and hilarious. I had a blast.
Have you played the multiplayer Lethal Company, the one with like 18 people?
Yes, haven't had that many people, but we've had more than 4.
Ooh, nice.
And it worked good. The only weird thing about that is you have to make sure that whatever mod you're using, so for instance, let's say I'm using under the Lethal Company tag, it says more company. I have to tell everyone this is the specific one I'm using, because if they're using a more company but it's by a different creator, it doesn't register, and so they can't jump in, if that makes sense. So that was a little weird. We found some roundabout ways to do that. But yeah, getting my house ready for tomorrow and trying to fix my computer. I'm still having a little bit of delay. So Adam's sister was redoing her kitchen, and her dishwashers, microwave, and stove are like a year old, but they don't match her aesthetic anymore. So she's getting new ones, and she offered them to us and then offered to haul ours away. So tonight I got to take the microwave out, dishwasher out, and pull the oven away from the wall and turn the gas off for preparation tomorrow. But I'm excited. I can bake now without my oven turning off.
Wait,
it's exciting.
I didn't even know that was an issue.
I have a timing issue in my oven. Yeah.
Oh my God. Is it gas powered?
It is gas. Yes.
Oh my God, that sounds horrible. Wow, that sounds dangerous, actually. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's a timing issue. So it's not every time, and it's not a specific temperature, but let's say I'm going to bake cookies and I preheat the oven 15 minutes before I even need it. After the preheat, I could go to put my cookies in, and the oven is cold enough that I could touch the rack inside. But you'll hear it like pop, 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 like trying to ignite, and it's not. And a couple times I've smelled gas. I'm like, that's terrifying. I've had a guy come out and work on it. And they're like, yeah, it's just a weird issue with this oven. We fixed it, and it worked for 2 days.
Huh, okay,
my poor dad,
that is...
on Christmas, tried to cook lamb. It turned off. He was so upset.
That is insane.
Yeah, you got to press off, wait a minute, and then turn it back on to the temp you need, and listen out for it to turn back on. Yes.
That is annoying.
That sounds horribly annoying. Jesus.
I brought a cake one time to a birthday party. It was cooked. Could not
they'll be like, let's
it's basically raw.
They slay the hand. They're like, let's just throw this one in the garbage. But hey, but you know what, Lex?
Yes.
You know who should have been in the Great Bug Wars in that movie Starship Troopers?
Who?
The 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What's going on, my dude?
Chillin', my dog. You already know we're on the automatons. They had a great event, and they did a little social media thing that basically kicked off the next community event for them. So Helldivers 2 is a ton of fun. It sucks though. We had mad issues getting into games. Yesterday their servers were maxed out. I don't know if they had a queue or what, but everything was cool. I was streaming, and then my everything went to hell. Started my stream went down to 17 frames, so I quit, and then I couldn't get back into the game.
Are you
so
serious?
We ended up finishing off. Yeah, dude. It was just I let it sit for half an hour we just jibber jabbed and stuff like that, and I never got back in. So I think they released a hotfix or something at some point in time yesterday. I literally left it up, and when I came in here this morning, I was in the game, so I got through at some point in time. But yeah, that was kind of annoying. But it's a ton of fun. So I've been playing a lot of that, and then yeah, I think really I haven't really gotten down on any Midnight Suns. It's mainly been that, and then we've got Nightingale comes out next week. Just found out that I got part of their creator program, so I'll be definitely creating some content around Nightingale and all that stuff. That might just be an off stream thing. I don't know that I'm going to stream it, or even if my PC can handle it, because apparently my PC can't handle shit anymore.
You can come over and play
anymore.
See, there goes. Yeah, whoa, take it easy.
You can.
Other than that, though, solid. I'm feeling better. I'm still like, my voice is still a little rough. I'm a little congested, but I feel way better than I did last week and like earlier in the week. So it's been busy.
What do you guys have?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, never. I know that Lizard Elsa had strep a couple of weeks ago, and we were all like fine through that stuff. But then like I could kind of feel like some stuff, and like she got a runny nose and got kind of congested. Then I did. Then Scorp Kitty did, and like it like went into like burny chest, kind of hard to take in deep breaths and stuff like that. But like I feel like there's only one day that I had to take meds. Everything else has been pretty chill. So
okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, we back, baby. What about you, Mike? What you been? I know you got that Foam Stars in.
Yeah, dude, that was actually a surprisingly fun game, I would have to say. It was we actually had I did a special stream on that last week on Sunday. Which was unfortunately the only day I streamed for the week, but it was definitely a really, really fun game. I would support it. Am I going to put money in it? Not yet. I'm not. I just don't trust it yet. That's the problem. Until I see a roadmap of what they're planning on doing for the year, we will. I will probably, but I have been casually playing it the past week, like just offline.
Yeah.
And it's just nice, simple, and easy and stuff. And then I've been enjoying myself on it. So Haseo was one of the people that came on, and we were playing it together for a little bit too.
Nice.
So no, I think the misconception is that this game is a Splatoon rip. It is nowhere near what Splatoon is at all. It's its own kind of game. Which I definitely loved and appreciated. If they can just increase the different kinds of players that you can play, or increase the kind of the character list, because right now the character list is a little short with 8 players. And plus, since the game is a 4v4, you're going to hit duplicates all the time. So until they increase that a little bit, maybe some different stages on top of that too, and some other small different things. I think it definitely has its chance. Now, the one thing I didn't like about it was its microtransactions. Now, I understand this game is a free to play game, and it definitely needs to live by microtransactions, so that's perfectly fine. But some of these prices was ridiculous. Like there was a character skin price for like a bundle price for a character skin that cost $44.99.
That is insane.
Yeah, exactly. And then like the most expensive.
Say that again.
Yeah, $44.99. And then like when we
what does that include?
Yeah, so when you look inside the character list, like what it includes it obviously includes a character skin. A character skin, a board, which because in the game you could surf on the foam, so you have surfboards. So there's a surfboard skin, there's the animal skin, as well as a thing called poppers, which increases your experience for a certain period of time. But there's a finite amount of poppers that you can get, so it's not unlimited. So then
but it doesn't make you better, right?
No.
in the game?
It doesn't.
No,
It just
it's
gives
not
you an
like
experience
pay to win.
boost. Yeah,
Okay.
it just gives you an experience boost of like you get more experience, you can level up your character more faster a little bit.
Okay.
For that round, and then like some other character skins. I mean, all of it's character skins or skins and its designs. It doesn't give you a thing to enhance on it. But like to say that all that costs $44.99 is a little bit way too steep for my blood. The character skin itself should cost like about like $10, and then that would have been good. And to its credit, if you separated it, you can get the skins are about $10.99, I think, if I remember correctly. So
That's crazy though.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, so that's what I said too. I was like, dang, dude, that is a really, really expensive
I feel
thing.
like that's
to
really
deal with.
aggressive, especially the fact that you have not built a community. So coming out the gate like that, it's like, I have a feeling you're gonna have a hard time. Yeah. People, it's gonna, if anything, I think it's gonna be more of a turnoff for people, than anything. Just seeing prices like that. What does that say? That's
that could run people away, but but the game is fun. No, I will definitely give it credit, and I hope that it I still think because it's Square, I don't know what's going to be in their minds or what they see as a success or what they see as a flop. I don't know if they have the people, like the pressure behind it to keep this game like lively going, being updated all the time, like this game as a service. So I'm gonna give it about a good first year and just kind of see unless it's like a character that I'm like, oh, I gotta try this character out, or if I'm still playing it by that time. So yeah, I did play that. I reinstalled Final Fantasy VII Remake because we are like about less than 2 weeks away for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm already hyped on it. Smitty, have you played the demo yet?
I'm not gonna play. I don't need to.
You haven't played? Okay, good. I know you're gonna get it regardless. But I mean, you can move your save and stuff from the demo to the regular game. I did not know this. At least that's what I thought. I mean, that's what they did in the other. That's what they've been doing. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so
I will play it then. As long as
don't take my word for it. Just check
I'll
check to it. Yeah, check before you do it. Yeah, I don't want to screw that up for you. But so like I decided to play. I wanted to play Integrate because I've never played Integrate before. But then like I did no idea that how many hoops it took for you to get to upgrade your PS4 version of Final Fantasy VII to Final Fantasy VII on PS5. Or that was like, oh my God, it was a pain in the butt. Well, I already did it, but like when I installed it, like when I installed the game by default, first off, the game doesn't tell you that you can do it, is one. So you have to. So I was like, wait a minute, I upgraded this thing. I have a PS5 save for this thing. So I had to look it up. I go into the PlayStation store, and then the PlayStation store says, oh, you got you have a. You have it for PS5. So I tried installing it on PS5 and it says, do you have the disc for the PS5? And I'm like, no, I have the PS4 version. So I put the 4 disc in and it didn't let me do it. So I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what the hell is going on? So I had to look it up on YouTube on how to upgrade my PS so I could get it on PS4, move from PS4 to PS5. And
so annoying.
It is so ridiculous. I'm just like, why is it such a good thing? Why is it so crazy? Oh, are you not able to hear anything now? Oh.
No, he can. My Discord notifications, he private messaged me, and I forgot that I on the other PC hadn't turned everything off except for the
so that's what I was hearing too. Okay, I didn't know. Okay, so
I heard something too. Yeah, I thought I was like, that me? Like,
nope, it was me. I thought it was just coming through my headphones. I'm so sorry.
That's hilarious. Oh, okay,
but I think
that's good.
Fixed it. I went over and turned everything off.
Shut up, Google.
What did she say?
Google Indeed.
Google says Indeed. What the hell was that?
She's talking to me. Let's than Google. We're friends. What can I say?
I'm worried. I'm sometimes scared about my Google. Like that makes it seem like it's in the middle of the conversation, and it's like, and what's worse is like I don't have speakers. All I have is my headset, so it's not even hearing the side. So but Google's always listening. Yeah, it's like, oh
she can
God,
hear.
so scary.
She can always hear.
So
if one of
scary.
y'all said her name, she'd probably perk up. She can hear on my headphones.
All right.
That's true.
But anyways, I know y'all don't want to be talking about how Skynet's going to rule us all in 1 year. So let's go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of discussion in the world of video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry. And we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners and viewers on Twitch, YouTube, and on Kick, to be a part of the conversation as always. So if there is something that you want to chime in about, please just type it inside the chat. We would love to discuss it with all of y'all, and we'll have a nice, great all discussion. So let's get this party started. So Smitty, what are you bringing to the table, my friend?
Yeah, we got to talk about it. We were talking the Embracer Group. It seems like not too long ago, we were speaking about them as if though they were the saviors of so many studios. And clearly now where we stand, that is not the case. At this point in time, within the last 6 months, they have let go of 1,400 employees. I don't even know how many games, upwards of 20 games have been canceled. This all started when that Savvy Games deal, the one with the Saudi Arabian folks, fell through. I think it was supposed to be like a $2 billion investment. Once that fell through, they went into a huge spiral. What makes it even worse, though, is that their CEO, and again, you got to remember, I think they're a Swedish company, I believe, and their CEO, Lars Wingfors, he's had he has not managed what they've done very well at all. He should not be the guy speaking to the media companies. Like the last call that they had, he basically is stating and said that their shareholders are the most important thing. So they're not looking at how can we retain these employees from these different studios. We've had multiple studios either shut down, Deus Ex, they were in the middle of making that's gone. It's crazy what they're doing. And again, they are straight up saying this is to appease the shareholders. Mind you, they still had their profitability, was still, what is it? It was in year over year, they had an increase of 4% in net sales to $1.157 billion and a net income of $210 million. So they're still very much making money. It's just not hitting these projections and stuff. And we're seeing it with a bunch of these other, with these layoffs. When we went into that pandemic, I feel like all these corporations went into bloat mode. They started over bloating. Their projections were wildly off. What sucks, though, is that the people that suffer are not only the consumers, but also the folks that are, they were working, they were a part of these companies. They were hired on or they got hired on later. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, you're out of a job because the folks that were up there making these projections were way off. So now we got to make sure that we're still hitting our profitability numbers. So we got to cut, and we're not going to cut our own. That's one thing I got to say about Nintendo is that when push came to shove, their president said, I'm cutting my own salary. We're not losing employees on this, which that should say a lot about the company and just their culture as a whole. So it's just been really disappointing because I very much was on that train. I think the Embracer Group could be, awesome for all these studios that are getting picked up by them. They'll be able to have a little more freedom, and it has been quite the opposite. Not only do they not have freedom, they're just losing straight. You're just not going to do anything. We got to cut. We're going to cut employees, and you're not even going to be able to make the game that you were currently in development doing. Very disappointing. It sucks to see that, but I don't foresee the hemorrhaging stopping anytime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year, it's upwards of 3,000 to 4,000 employees that end up getting fired in totality from the Embracer Group.
Well, when I saw I remember when this happened, when Embracer, I mean, we were like kidding throughout the years, like when Embracer was picking up all these IPs and stuff, but we were at the same time saying, oh, it's gonna be kind of cool because some of these IPs that they were picking up are IPs that we haven't seen or heard from. It's been ages. They were getting sloppy seconds from Square for a lot of them too. Like some of them were like, wow, okay, it's cool, but I think the one that really getting to me right now is Knights of the Old Republic, like because they also got that. Was them, and then we heard that the limbo state that one was in, and then Sony was basically just decided to go totally pretend that it doesn't even exist right now which is a good sign because so you don't mess around that way. We thought it was going to be a good deal that the third group was going to go and do all of this stuff, but like. Totally, man. I don't know. Like they and when the Savvy deal went under, we said like, oh, that must be a blow, and we think that, but I don't think no one projected it to be as bad as what it became because this is it just seems like they were putting like the Savvy deal must have been all their eggs in one basket because this totally turned about face of everything that they were planning on wanting to release, everything that was going to be released, like companies and studios that was going to go in on this. Besides the crappy one that they released, that Lord Golem that was released earlier prior to all of that, like all
they
this stuff.
Skip that, dude.
Yeah, they did, and they shut the studio down like after a month when it was released. So it was like it was going to be bad, but like man, dude, like to see a studio throughout the chance for a company that has so many promising IPs, especially IPs that people loved and remembered and stuff, to be like to where they're at right now, seeming like that they're scrounging. Because like you're right, they did get a gain of 2023, but those were games. But the games that they did release did fairly all right, I guess, in the monotone. Besides, certain ones like Saints Row, Golem and stuff, kind of did get them under what they were wanting to do. But now, I mean, but like, look at 2024. I mean, like projectively, like what is coming out from the same group that's going to have after 1,400 layoffs currently right now, 1,400 layoffs that they're currently at, studios that were shut down, games that were canceled, like they scrapped Deus Ex in the beginning of the new productions and stuff. Like, what are we going to be expecting of this group now? I mean, now because they are in conserving mode. They are in they are not in wanting to make a game to get money. They're more like in the game on trying to keep Embracer Group alive. Like are they in any is gaming the only thing that they're in, or are they doing other stuff on top of that to get like another secondary source of income? Because I don't know, man. This we've heard nothing but bad things for the past 8 months of Embracer Group, and then just how things were just showing on the outside level, that I don't expect them to be 100% 100% in the clear of what they're planning on doing for the future. So I mean, at least that's what I think. What about you, Lex?
It's just so sad. And we had talked about this before, that a lot of video game companies, they bloated during the pandemic. The projections were a lot higher than what everybody expected. Okay, so be it. But now we're getting to the point where they're past the extra bloat of people that they hired. They've been gobbling up all these other companies, but then they're stopping them from making the games. So what was the point in gobbling them up anyways? Right? Like, had they not, would these companies be ready to publish these games now? Possibly. They turned out to kind of be the bad guy in this situation. It is not anything funny. I apologize. That's my trauma response. But it sucks, man. And again, the whole everything is bloated right now due to the pandemic. So they're not the only company. And yeah, there's great people losing their jobs and who could technically go to other companies and do all of that and get hired over there. But those companies are bloated too right now. So
I don't really
we're
want to
kind of
blame
in
it
a
all
weird.
on bloating though, because I mean, like what
No,
they
no,
were
no. I'm
originally
not
going
blaming
to
it
do.
all.
Yeah, because like it just seems like what they originally were trying to do was, besides the Savvy Group merger, they were trying to do was that they were really depending on that. Like they were
Yeah,
Mhm.
like
that seems like it was more than just
yeah,
a
because I think
business deal. Like this was a save them Hail Mary is
yeah,
what it
this
feels like
was
now.
that's exactly what it like. Cause like I think you're right. Everything did bloat because of pandemic, but like I don't know if that's all because of that. Because now they were like maybe they were outside of the pandemic, and then they were in a position where they were like, we kind of need to get more money so we can get so we can do
Right.
more out of
Get
this.
back
So
on track.
yeah, so let's do Savvy, and then Savvy was like,
Okay.
yeah, sure, let's do it. And then they're like, you know what? Nah, you know what? Never mind. We changed our mind. So then,
Right.
and then just swept it under the rug, and they'll be like, oh, okay. And then they just shut down. Like they were just
Yeah.
done.
Mhm.
And I'm not trying to say that everything is due to bloat. I'm saying that a lot of the numbers of the first initial layoffs were a
Mhm.
lot of the extras that they hired during the pandemic, right? Well, now we're past that. None of this is, and from here on, well, the last couple layoffs have been bloated all. So they're laying a lot more people off than what it really, it just, the numbers are all funky.
No, I mean, you got to look at it though too. Is that they've made projections to their shareholders. They're not coming close to those projections. They're still making profit, but they're just not coming close to those. So they're just trying to lose stuff now to get that ROI to get closer to what they projected to their shareholders. And they've said as much. What's crazy to me, I mean, we have things like Crystal Dynamics is under there, Eidos Montreal, freaking THQ Nordic, and all their stuff, Saber Interactive, Gearbox, like, dude, there's a ton of stuff that's underneath that umbrella, and that definitely makes me worried, not only for things that we know of, but like there's probably projects that maybe they haven't even announced or said,
Oh,
but
no,
they're just
probably.
saying, nah, we're cutting the kebab on that, and they're just gonna focus on which again, I don't know if it's necessarily in terms of I feel like there's a problem right now where there's a quantity over quality issue in video games, and I feel like this is forcing these studios and stuff like that to pump the brakes and be like, all right, let's take a little time. We don't, this is going to be a slower year. We saw, people, PlayStation saying, and Sony Interactive saying like, look, don't expect any major first party games this year from us. They're working on stuff. That doesn't mean that we're not going to get anything from them, but we're not going to get like a Spider-Man or anything like that. I'm fine with that. Take the time. Our backlogs are hurting anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't need all that stuff. I would rather them take this time and do that. I'm nervous though, for this whole Embracer Group thing is because there are a ton of great studios underneath there, and they have clearly stated, look, we're playing the corporate games. We don't give a shit about the games, the communities, any of that. We are looking to appease our shareholders, and we will do, and that is going to mean we're going to be cutting where we took in all this extra.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
it's gonna be a bloodbath. I feel, dude. It's terrible.
It already is a bloodbath. It's going to be a nightmare when it's all said and done. It's just, I guess the thing I'm really disappointed about is, like you said, some of these studios, like I mean, some of these studios are the people that are like that made Borderlands or what's it called? Like I mean, they made a lot of iconic games, and it's well, they're just going to disappear because of all of this. Or like one of the studios made Little Nightmares too, if you remember that.
Yeah, Tassir.
Yeah. So it's like,
yep.
Like when you're seeing some of these, like, so it's not the fact that the studios are going to be talented, but you just know that like when someone's going to be doing a reckoning of like, trying to restructure and stuff like this, especially with a group like when you don't have your faith in the CEO of Embracer, like the top brass, and their focus is just profit, then it's nightmarish, man. Like no one's going to be safe from all of this. I think their investments are definitely going to hurt from all of this nonsense. So who knows, man? It's just so bad. It's just like to say that they're the worst. Like I mean, we know EA is a bad company because EA treats their people bad. We know that, but like, but Embracer is just saying like the soft part out loud, like quite clearly to a point where it's like you just gotta hate them. Because they were the good guys a year ago, and then it's like, but now it's
not
like
anymore.
Nothing you can do or say about what's going to happen with them, man. It's just terrible. It's just
we literally watched their villain arc play through within the span of a year.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's crazy. Yeah,
because you saw the year before of them picking up all those IPs. So they're like, because they got like 30 or 40 new IPs for like $300 million from Square, and then on top you're like, and then the way that they were, dude, and that's not even just the IPs. They also bought limited run games. They also bought companies that like production companies. They also got the titled in rights for Dark Horse comic games. If they wanted to make games from Dark Horse, they're the ones that you got to go through it. So you saw them actively making moves because you thought because we don't, since we're not on the inside of all this, we thought on the outside they're like, oh, they're building up. Yeah, they're building up. They're gonna build up. They're gonna be bringing back games that people remember, and then people will be like this, but then all of a sudden it's just like we just see a full on lame duck that happened when Savvy, and then we're like, oh, okay, because it didn't seem like it was a big deal like when it happened. But I mean, it was a lot of money, granted, but we didn't think that it was gonna take him off course as much as it has. You know, it's just, oh my God, it's just terrible. It's like it's just so bad. And yeah, you're right. And like how we just had the front row seat of all of that. When if you just look at the line, if you look at the timeline of all that, you're just like, wow, it's like they really did go like the good guys to becoming the arch nemesis. It's crazy,
right? And this is a quote directly from Lars. He says, Embracer still has a few larger structured divestment processes ongoing that could strengthen our balance sheet and further reduce capex. Processes are in mature stages. Certain companies might initiate restructuring before any divestment is announced. Our overruling principle is to always maximize shareholder value in any given situation.
Well, that's not good.
If that don't tell you everything you need to know right there. He said, here's my ass. We are here for the shareholders. Yes, this is literally the freaking climax of their villain arc. And we have seen them full on turn into the bad guy. And they said, and not only that, but they said we are prepared to strip these studios down before fully divesting in them. So it's going to get uglier. It's going to get ugly over there, and which is terrible.
Yeah.
I don't like it one bit.
Ooh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We'll see. We'll just see what crazy ass moves that they're going to be doing here in the near future. But
Scyther says, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become accountable to shareholders.
That is true. I mean, that's exactly what they did.
Facts.
Man, but then again, you know what? We don't even. You know what? I think they were already. They already were going to be like, you know, very open to the shareholders itself. We just didn't see any of that. We didn't see that until there was like quite clear that they were looking for profits after they were cut when they cut out 1,400 jobs. You know, just gradually and stuff. But we'll see how this is going to turn out, man. It's like all I care about now at this point is, dude, give me an update on Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. You said it's not canceled, but I just don't believe you. You know, I just don't believe you. I don't know how you could be like saying straight face to people, but that game is still coming out. So bad. But but anyways, all right. So my topic, not a big topic, but it's just something to kind of go back on. But as you know, which is really crazy to even think of, but Nintendo Switch has been out for 7 years now. And it's definitely hit its wall of its capabilities for development. especially the garbage ports of Pokemon on it. the game barely with the glitching and stuff like that, and all these crazy fun glitches, but still it's just terrible. But still, so there are so people were already assuming that this game that the Switch 2 was going to be announced here this year, and we were going to somewhat expect it for the holiday season of 2024. Well, apparently Nintendo's next console they're speculating that it's going to be launching in early 2025. This is actually a delay from what they were saying, because the big reason for that was that they were trying most of their big, their starting games, the first gen games that come out on a new system. Most of them were already going to be quarter one of 2025 for what they were projecting. Now this isn't this isn't official in itself. So, but this was but apparently this information was internally slipped out and was picked up by Eurogamer on this. So this is whispers. So this is the unofficial of this. I don't usually like to work on unofficial, but I think this is a pretty important one for Nintendo fans itself, and especially what we expect, because I think if Nintendo knows anything, which they definitely do, I think they're going to be holding out on trying to make their systems portable and easy and simple, because it works for them. But I think at the same time it needs to be more powerful. Yeah. and now since we saw how strong Steam Deck is and all this other stuff is, we know that the technology is now there, but hopefully, I guess the real thing is price, because Steam Deck is not cheap. So they just need to find something in the in between sweet spot. Knowing Nintendo is bright, they're energetic and hungry. So that we'll see. Hopefully, it's going to be better, and hopefully they don't do something like they did with the Wii U or anything like that. So most people are projecting it around March 2025. So I just wanted to think what you think about this. Is this something that you would plan on getting, or something that you're even remotely caring about for the most part?
I feel like I don't have enough time to answer that. I don't know. I don't really use my Switch at the moment, so purchasing another Nintendo at this time doesn't seem feasible to me, but also it doesn't seem feasible that they would be coming out with something in 2025 either. You know what I mean? My head's having a hard time wrapping around it. I guess it would depend on what content is coming out for really say what.
I just think I think Nintendo builds its systems just for that short-term longevity, because when you think about it, when you get the Nintendo Wii, remember the Nintendo Wii was selling like hotcakes when it first came out. Then everyone got a Wii, but then everyone eventually stopped playing that Wii and it just disappeared. The Wii U was completely non-existent. And the Switch is somewhat the same thing though. So yeah, but I think it does enough for its favor for those for fans to play their system, and then when people just let it go, because you're right, I haven't played my Switch since when did I last play it? Oh my god, when did I last play it? When did I last buy a Switch game?
Well, and on top of that too, well, didn't you have the latest? No, you didn't get the latest.
I didn't.
Zelda. You don't play Zelda.
No.
It was around that time something else came out. I feel like that because Smitty was playing Zelda, so was Adam, and you were playing something else that was on the Switch, but it wasn't Zelda.
I think the last thing I played on the Switch was Pokemon.
Either that, or wasn't there a RPG game that you were playing? Like something triangle stratagem, or I don't know.
No, not triangle strategy. I know you're talking about, but no, I didn't pick that one up. Not for the Switch. I think last game I played was Pokemon. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah.
Because you were running into some funny glitches for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just at the moment, because even now, like I could play Dreamlight Valley on Switch. I chose to get it on PC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I could be laying in bed and put my little camera setup and lay flat on my back and play it. I don't. I choose not to. I choose to come and sit in here. It gets me up, gets me at my computer at least. You know, I don't know. For me personally, at this time, no.
Okay, but here's
also I want to see things, like show them to me, and then maybe I'll change my mind.
That's what,
I think there's a number of things that we have to consider, and I think it's things that they obviously are considering. It's got to be more powerful, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to at least, I would say, come up to the standards to be able to do things like the Steam Deck, the ROG, or whatever. All those things now can do that base. I would say. But again, we got to look at the price because they have to be able to do this stuff while keeping the price in a more consumer friendly range, which is going to be really difficult. Again, I don't know how that works on the inside track stuff and whatnot. How I feel is, and I'm very much like you guys, I hardly even play it, but it's great for family stuff. It's great for having co-op things and things like that. Or if I'm traveling, being able to have that. I think there's some base things that they need to meet. Not to mention, think about like the Xbox stuff. Think about PlayStation, what they've talked about, and how there's more of these talks of getting their games in less about exclusivity and getting some of their games in other places as well. If Nintendo wants to, not that I'm saying that they have to be, but if they want to, they did. Don't forget. They did sign a contract with Xbox in terms of Call of Duty as well. So that shit's going to be coming to Switch at some point in time, the next generation of Switch, not this generation. So on rip, it's got to be able to at least meet the specs of Call of Duty. They have a benchmark that they have to at least meet, I would say, to be able to actually fully take advantage of that deal. We know why Xbox said that. And Activision Blizzard, but what is Nintendo's goal and how do they accomplish that? Because I don't think Call of Duty could run on today's Switch.
Yeah, but Nintendo is like,
you're gonna get an MP1 situation.
Yeah, Nintendo's a beast of its. Yeah, well, Nintendo goes. We all know that Nintendo goes on the beat of their own drum, and they really need. They don't necessarily need to, because, like I said, look at the numbers that their games get. Their numbers that their games get blows everything out the water. Besides certain ones, like Power World and Minecraft and stuff like that, because of how popular and stuff is. Their average, like for their average first party games, are usually double digit. They're usually around like 15 to 20 million, 20 million on their units. And that's on the regular. Anyone would kill for those kind of numbers. So that's
blowing their mind about Power World hitting what? I don't even remember what it hit.
Probably, well, the last time I think they hit was 19, but I don't know what million. So the problem is, like, we can see it by Steam, but we don't know what the unit sales is by Xbox. Correct. So until we can we can just go by a legitimate average by all that. But I just think, what, Power World is definitely doing its game. That's cool. It's like, okay, Nintendo's like, okay, that's one. Look at what they got. Right, yeah. You got Mario Kart. You got the Mario games has been selling like crazy. Zelda sells itself. So we got even Metroid, the Metroid game that came out 2 years ago, sold for 13 million. That's insane numbers in itself. You have Mario Kart 7 or 8 that's been out since 2015 that is now hitting 27 million units sold. I mean, that's crazy. Yep. Those kind of deals. The real thing, I think the big thing now at this point is because now, since they depend on their hardware so much, you're totally right on the fact that they also have to find a way to improve on what they have currently. But then at the same time, it has to hit that sweet spot for a consumer to say, oh, this is good enough for them to just buy for their kids and stuff and not worry about it, because like that's the one thing that they could do. But you would know for a fact it can't be as good as what the Asus ROG, the Asus or the Steam Deck's going to be, but it's still going to be good enough because it's a good portable system to have, to play in indie games and stuff like that. I mean, I guess the argument with playing indie games on the go is now a moot point now since you got the Steam Deck and stuff, but still, it's still an option. You now got the first party support that you can still play Zelda and stuff on the go. So yeah, I mean, but as for me personally, because of Nintendo for it to coming out, I mean, I guess I'm with you at Lex's point, because it's like, you're right. I mean, most of the times it's like, there's not really anything that makes me woo over Nintendo and just say, okay, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna have to get this game to play. So we'll see. Let's see what sites are said. Ever since I got a PC, I've been more about multiplayer. Then I ran out of friends, and now I barely play games. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Console gaming apart, shooters was very much a single player area.
And I've always been a Nintendo slut too. Like, I've always been Team Nintendo.
You're just a gaming slut in general, man.
I am. but I mean, again, like you guys were saying, I don't feel that urge that like I have to have a Switch 2. It will take a lot from them for me to be like, oh, I don't need my Switch anymore. I'm gonna upgrade to the this other Switch. Like, I don't see that happening.
You remember when you remember when Nintendo OLED came out, and I was just like, I don't really need this, at all. Yeah. I totally read that out. I was like, there's no reason, because I don't play it.
We talked about that less than a year ago. Like, didn't they just distribute that?
But it might have been a couple of years, right?
Even if it was,
I don't even know. Everything melted.
Even if it wasn't like an upgrade.
My brain is melted.
But like, I would say that it was just not really an upgrade, but rather an upgrade of how the look of it, like, the look of your games, the like enhancement of your games in the handheld mode. It is a little faster, but they didn't change like the graphics and stuff. Like, so you can still play all your games on the original Switch to the new one, vice versa. Not like what they did with the 3DS and the new 3DS kind of deal. But still,
yeah.
Everything. Yeah. So it's we'll definitely see. It's coming out 2025. Take it or leave it. Hopefully they have the reason for you to go pick it up. Personally, there isn't for me, so we'll see how see where it goes from there. So yeah. So anyways, I know this was like a little mini thing. I'm gonna use the rest of my time and defer it to Smitty again, because there's something else Smitty wanted to talk about.
Yeah, we have to talk about the Xbox event and the big Nuttenberger that Twitter and the tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists. It went from like Xbox is dying, it's a dead console, they're not going to be making consoles anymore, to if you've been listening to this show for a decent amount of time, we've talked about it many times over the years.
We talked about last week.
Microsoft, they've been going down this path for quite some time. They are basically just confirming. What they said was that they are going to be porting over 4 games. They didn't even say what the games were yet. They definitely said it's not going to be Starfield or Indiana Jones, I believe.
Yeah.
So they're still going to keep a level of exclusivity. This is what I like about Xbox, is the fact that they're not afraid, and they don't just jump all the way in. Let's test out the waters. Let's gradually get over there and get to this stuff, which is, that's a proper way of doing something as you're shifting over and whatnot. So they were basically confirming that, yes, we're going to get 4 games, for what were previously exclusive on Xbox will be coming over to PlayStation as well. Again, they very much, and I feel like that's their mantra, is we want people to be able to play our games wherever you want to play your games, whatever you have. We just want you to be able to come into our ecosystem and give you guys our Xbox love, because we know that you guys love games. And I can respect that. And again, what we've seen, like, Totoki, president of Sony Interactive Entertainment, essentially was kind of saying the same thing. Like, look, we're going to look to get and port over our games in a faster timeline to PC and in more abundance. They've obviously seen the positive effects of having their games outside of just exclusively being on the PlayStation system. Obviously, they've getting a resurgence once, a game comes back out. All of a sudden, you got the whole PC crowd. Spider-Man 2 is shooting up, or whatever the last port was, is shooting up the charts again. And it's like they're getting like another cash injection off of something that's already been completed. They'd be fools not to be playing that game. Not only that, but we've also seen the signs as well. They've bought into and have shares within Xbox or Microsoft in their cloud gaming. We talked about that. How they already know they were so far behind, they couldn't possibly try to build their own infrastructure out. They would get lost so quickly. So, again, I feel like Xbox and Microsoft have been very candid and open about where they lie within the console ecosystem, but they are looking and have been working beyond that for quite some time. And we're starting to see what that looks like. And you're seeing the industry as a whole starting to fold, which means Microsoft and Xbox are leading the pack in that area, what will inevitably be the future of gaming. So this is huge. Not only that, but we're also going to be getting our first Activision Blizzard game here March 28th. It's going to be Diablo 4. I've never played a Diablo in my life. Will I play it? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Adam does. He loves it.
Yeah, no, I will absolutely, because it's going to be on Game Pass. Why wouldn't I?
Right.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
I think the games itself, I had a feeling that it was already going to be blown out of proportions of what people were talking about what they were saying last week. Because people ran with their imaginations of what they meant, but because the problem was, I think the issue was that made it like wildfire was the fact of how vague, like Phil Spencer didn't really give anybody anything.
He's like, let it burn.
Yeah, pretty much. He pretty much did. And then people were literally going inside this thing and burn down Microsoft. We don't know what their expectations are going to be for the deal with Microsoft and stuff. And I'm like, dude, and I was like, you know what? If it was on the cross platform, I would have been like, if it was on other platforms, I was like, that's good for Microsoft. Microsoft said that they were wanting to do that in the first place, and I think it's a good idea for them to go put it on other systems, and them putting in the money, given the amount of money that they put in on third party companies for the past several years here, that they want their money back. Hey, I don't care if Starfield's. Would I get Starfield on PS5? Hell no, because it's a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. But I just think that but just the accessibility for it was going to be good for it. Now with the 4 games that they were saying that they could possibly be, was that they were saying 2 of those games are going to be community based games. So there were going to be and then the other two games, one of those 2 games was going to be a game that they didn't expect it to be as good as it was, but they didn't want it to be region locked specifically within the Xbox
Rush
season. So yeah, that's definitely Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, I've heard Grounded, which that makes sense.
Grounded would make sense.
That'd be a lot of fun. Especially, again, and we got to have cross-play's got to be available as well. That's the other integral part.
That would have to be with Nintendo.
And cross-play. Cross-save, cross-play. And Xbox does a great job of being able to, you notice how you were talking about the Final Fantasy VII, and I accidentally was playing on my PS4 version, but I didn't have a save for my PS5 version. People don't realize how dumb that is until you're in a situation like that. It's like, I can't start this over now. What? The same thing happened to me with multiple games.
Oh, I did with, my thing was with Sony's thing for the longest time was like, we wanted to do crossplay. But then when we got to that position where it's like put up or shut up, they clearly clamored down, which makes it really unfortunate with the whole, with all the community and stuff. For instance, right now the game I'm playing, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, really good game. It's crossplay between Steam, with Steam players but not with PlayStation players. And then I'm like, why are y'all still in this mode of being shelled off to the the PC community? I don't understand this. Understand why? I don't know if that's a Microsoft thing or if that's not Microsoft thing. If it's a Sony thing or if it's just the developer thing. But there's clearly a level of communication that you're just saying that, or they're saying somewhere that they say that we don't want to make it between the two, because that is just it is such a headache to deal with all of this.
It's dumb.
I love Monster Hunter World. I would play Monster Hunter World again on PC, but the problem is I can't play. I can't either cross save my game from the PlayStation to the
Right.
PC, or I cannot communicate with PC players to my PlayStation. And that story mode is so atrocious that I will never go through that whole process again. Just and go through like the 750 hours I played in Monster Hunter World and just down the drain onto it. That's why when Monster Hunter Wilds come out, it has to be on PC, because I will not take that chance again for PS5, because it sucks, because I love just sitting on my couch and just playing it. It was really fun. But yeah, but like this, I didn't think it was the end of the world for Microsoft to deal with this. Personally, I thought it was a good thing on their behalf, because they've even admitted
absolutely a good thing.
But unfortunately, it's not the level that I thought it was going to be, which is, I'm not disappointed, because to be honest with you, there's not really a lot of Xbox exclusive games that I would say that I really cared about.
Give me Gears of War on there. I would eat that up. I would gobble that up.
Yeah, Gears of War.
Give me the Gears of War, dude.
Yeah, at that point. What do you think about this, Lex?
I don't know.
You don't have to have an opinion on it.
A lot of these games I already have. I also already have Game Pass. Cross save. Crossplay. That's all I'm saying. Like, do this? Great. Absolutely. But don't day one be like, oh, we're working on crossplay. Or we're working on cross. No. I'm not doing that, because it is such a hassle.
It should be a standard.
Thank you. It shouldn't be a afterthought. Like, that needs to be the first thought, then build out everything, right? Like, I don't understand how their math doesn't math when it comes to that, but I digress. I think they're right. I think it shouldn't matter where you're playing, as long as you're playing their games, right? Smart. That makes sense.
They just need to have games.
I usually
the problem of it,
right?
Yeah, they need to have their games.
Yes, thank you. So, as long as they're doing crossplay and cross save, that's slave. Sorry, I have an audio delay. Cross save and cross play. That's all, and cross slaves. That's all I care about.
Cross slaves.
Power world.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like
Exploring.
if I just think that overall, I just think the overall outcome with I mean, this is the best that they could go with. Fine, that's cool, but there's really not really anything that like makes me want to go. I mean, to be like, oh, this is really cool news. I mean, and stuff. I mean, I guess Hi-Fi Rush, because I could buy Hi-Fi Rush on my PC. I still haven't done it yet. But like you said, I guess like a Gears of War would be a cool one to get, because they're not making any more of them. But
more importantly, it gives access to these games that people that just have a PlayStation would be able to access. That's what's huge. For me, having Game Pass was huge, because this then gave me access to these Xbox, which there's not a ton, but still at least gave me the ability to play these games that I've never in the past had the ability to play before. That's true. To me, like, hey, would I pick it up? Maybe. But I mean, I don't have to, because I got to get Game Pass. But like, Sony, if they can, I don't know what their plan is in terms of that stuff, but like, I guarantee it, people that are just on that PlayStation side will play them, unless they're just trying to do it out of spite, which I'm sure there's going to be dumbasses that do that.
I mean, I guess
there's always a few.
Yeah, I guess we just gotta wait and see what these other studios are going to be bringing, to be like, okay, PlayStation, or not PlayStation, but Xbox is a good place to take a look at their new IPs of their own exclusive games. I just think that right now they haven't really announced anything exclusive fully for anyone to be like, oh, okay. I mean, they're not like, there's no banger to be like, oh, I got to get on the Microsoft system to get to play that game specifically on there, or something yet. It's been like that for a while. I mean, unless you're an FPS fan, you could like Halo, be a Halo fan, or what's it called? Senua's the sequel to Senua's Sacrifice.
Hellblade.
Yeah, Hellblade, and stuff. Other than that, I'm not seeing anything that'd be like, truly like engaging for a gamer to be like, I got to get it. I got to get it. Well, I guess I'm talking about my own personal thing, but to be like, I got to go on Xbox to play this Xbox based game. because that's just the thing that I'm more kind of worried about. But like I said, they literally bought like 40 studios. So we'll see in like 5 or 10 years, who knows what they're going to be releasing. But like, you know, if it's going to be something cool, we'll see, you know, what they're going to do. The Indiana Jones game, I will admit, doesn't look half bad, but
yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I think that's a start. And remember too, with Game Pass, that's day one, baby. Mm-hmm. That's day one. You got that shit day one, son. I see where they're going, and they've been steadily going down this path. I love that other people are having to fall in line, because they're like, look, dude, we can either continue gutting things, or we have to expand in order to continue our which again, their profits are crazy, but Microsoft, their gaming division is not a top priority for them.
Oh, this is this.
You know,
this is the way I look at Microsoft's gaming division. Yeah, the way I look at
just fuck out of here, dude. And like, you handle games.
The way I look at Microsoft's like gaming division is their tax write-off money for Microsoft itself. That's what Microsoft's. That's just what it is. It's just, there's no way that like, this is just basically, oh, okay, here you go. It's like, oh, how much did you spend? It's like, well, we're having a hard time spending as much money that's coming in. So we decided to make a whole new gaming division that has a bottomless budget, and we're still trying to use that to write off as a company.
Well,
so, yeah.
And Scyther says losing the console war and their AAA games are making gamers react to it. Things got to start turning around. I feel like, you know, again, I felt like they always, from the jump, they were always behind in the race. I feel like the way that they've been positioning themselves, they would actually, and if things go the way that they seem that they're going to be going, they're actually going to be leading the pack. I feel like they have put themselves in a good position to be able to do so. Not only that, but you got to remember, PlayStation, I feel like they're more apt to play ball, especially with the fact now that Activision Blizzard is under Microsoft, and they realize how big Call of Duty is. So they're like, all right, yo, let's work this partnership together. We were doing these things. Let's crack that shell on Sony and PlayStation to open you guys up a little bit. And, you know, again, we don't have to deal with Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan's out right now. Totoki is president. So who knows what his vision is. And as we go forward, we know that they've cut back and said, yo, pump the brakes on the live service games. That ain't the move. So we've already started seeing,
Activision kind of, no, well, they did.
They're
screw
not
the
Activision.
Pooch. Not Activision. I'm talking about Microsoft. Sorry, Microsoft did kind of screw the pooch, in my opinion. At the point of the Xbox One, because Xbox 360 was destroying PlayStation 3. Like at one point in time, yeah. So like, because like throughout, when you really 100%. Think about. Look at the amount of different kinds of exclusives that they did have, even though that they did hit some road bumps like Dragon Scale or whatever, Dragon Bound or whatever. They still were outselling it through consoles for a while. They did outsell it through a lot of different kinds of games. I just think that when they hit to Xbox One, they did those features that kind of killed it. Like I think the one thing was DRM. Really messed it up. Yeah. And then also they didn't have any game exclusives initially for the first 3 years of that system. So I think that's what really killed Microsoft's momentum, because 360 was really, really good for them. But then they just went to shit in when the next gen happened. So yeah. So I will say this. Yeah, they essentially did, because you know what? Theoretically, when did Xbox Game Pass get created? Xbox One. Xbox One was created because they weren't getting enough system sales initially when it came in, that they needed to find a way to get money to deal with all of that. So I just think that's the reason why, like they pit, like this was the infantile states of their pivoting, because they couldn't catch up with the PS4's popularity and its exclusivities and stuff.
So let me put out a poll real quick. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. All right.
This is let's just think about it throughout the year. Mm-hmm. Do we see within this year a price increase in Game Pass?
I personally think right now, I still don't think they're making money with it because of the I would say where are they at right now? I don't even know how much they're at right now. They're like
30. I think Ultimate's like $16 or something like that.
$9.99.
Let's find out. Hold on. Let's find out. Let's find out.
I
officially.
think so. Let me double check because now I don't know.
Yeah, don't you have Xbox Game Pass? You have Ultimate though. You have Ultimate though, right?
Me?
No.
Yeah. Oh, you don't?
I do.
Oh, you do?
He does.
Yes.
I don't.
You don't? Oh, okay. You have regular Xbox Game Pass?
I believe so.
Can you do that for PC? Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
you can.
I thought you had to get Ultimate to get.
Or at least you didn't.
One.
When I got it, so I've had it for 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know exactly
Yeah, $9.99.
what even the difference is between the things. I don't know why, or what even the difference is between the two.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so why
they merge gold into Ultimate or something? It's all weird and convoluted. I never really I was like, whatever, dude. Just make sure I get the games day one.
Let's see. Xbox Game Pass pricing. Yeah,
and it free with other stuff. Yeah,
dude, I also have a month free right now on my Xbox Game Pass too, and I'm like, do I click it? I don't know.
Get your first.
Pay for it.
So wait, okay, so there's two. Okay, so there's a PC which is for $9.99 a month. And that one says hundreds of high quality games on PC, new games on day one, member deals and discounts, EA Play memberships. Yeah. EA Play EA Play is a part of that. Oh, that's cool.
Dreamlight Valley and stuff is EA. So
okay, so for $16.99, it's the same things. The only difference I'm seeing here is online console multiplayer. Okay.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's still one.
I got Ultimate? I'll be so pissed if I'm paying this extra. I don't even got a console.
Hold on, wait. Okay, so there's console one, which is $9.99 in the Ultimate, and then the Ultimate. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you don't have the console, why are you playing? Why do you pay for that?
I don't know, but you best believe right after this podcast is done, I'll be double checking that. Why am I paying for that? I don't have a console.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you got so you don't need Ultimate. Yeah, so apparently
too old to care.
Okay, so PC. Okay, so PC version is so what you're paying for the Ultimate is for both PC and for console. And then if you only have one or the other, it's just $9.99. I gotcha. That makes sense.
That's dumb for me.
Well, yeah, that is definitely dumb. I
don't have a console. What am I doing?
The downsides, man. Yeah, so there you go.
Stop me.
Because I didn't know. I would have told you. But dude, okay, so $9.99. I think definitely that there's gonna have to be. I just don't know why it's been, how are they able to keep it at that price for that long is amazing to me. Because that's
I wish they would do a family plan thing too.
I don't know.
They used to.
I would pay extra for that.
So I can add you to mine, Smitty. Technically.
What do you mean?
I can add you to mine. And then you're able to use my Game Pass as long as you're signed in. I can have.
No, I have Game Pass.
I know, but let's say you didn't. I could add you to mine technically.
But does that mean you can't play it?
That's just password sharing.
Yeah, that's
there's a family.
Wait, there is a family thing?
There's a family sharing
Smitty, remember when we were talking?
How much did it cost?
Smitty, do you remember when we were talking about the family sharing thing that they were? I
thought it was only a theory. I didn't think I know that.
No, they said that they were going to get rid of it. They said, remember we talked about it, that we thought that they were going to get rid of it. Yeah,
but I got grandfathered in because I activated it. I just didn't put anyone's info in, but because I activated it, still shows up on my thing.
Still.
What does that mean, though?
Yeah, I know, right?
So I pay you free. Ta-da.
No, I understand that, but I mean, does that mean I get my own trophies and I have my own login stuff, or how does that work? Is that interesting?
I think so. It I think the whole
Are
thing
you
is
sure?
like, what if you have a family of a bunch of kids? Maybe it doesn't work anymore and it's just still showing up on my thing.
Yeah,
but
because it says August 15, 2023, existing memberships will end at Xbox Game Pass friends and family will no longer be available.
Because they got rid of that, right? Like,
Oh.
straight up.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, then never mind.
Oh, well, I mean,
But
if it's still showing, that's weird.
My whole theory
That
was, what if you've got a bunch of PC gamers in the house and you got you plus 4 kids, you all have your own
Right.
PCs, you could all still be on the same one family plan and have your own separate logins, blah, 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 you know?
Yeah,
But, well,
which
not
was
only
awful.
that, but they also
done now.
have cloud gaming, so you're not even using, so like,
Correct.
you don't have to have the best, like, PC to be
Right.
able to play the games. Like, that'd be
Yep.
huge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a good miss right there in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll bring
man.
it back with a higher price tag.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm always I'm always in the I'm in the place where it's just like that game that there's going to have to be an increase. I don't see how they could be giving it in, because right now they're peaking at about 30 million subscribers for Xbox Game Pass right now, and it's been kind of been in that area for a long period of time. So I think that overall it's just they have to do a change or something like that, or eventually to go up. Well, I think the change that we're going to see is when things like Diablo 4 is going to be, exclusive. It's going to be coming to systems and stuff like that, and things like that. It's going to be exclusive. And they said that they're never going to remove exclusive games from Microsoft, from Game Pass that they own from Game Pass.
So, I love that. Because I thought about that too. Like,
say that again?
Say it again.
Oh, I said that. Well, I don't know if that's real or not, but like from this. Oh, well, no. Actually, it is, because that's what they said at this conference. That they said that the games that are made by Microsoft is not going to be removed from Game Pass.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I would assume as much.
Yeah, or anything like that, because they're the ones that have ownership of the actual game.
Yeah. Because if that's the case, then it's like 99. Oh, what?
Sider says plenty of people jumping all over games like Power World bought up Game Pass because it's cheaper than the full game. And let's be honest, these days interest in games barely lasts 2 weeks. Never mind past the initial month membership. Yeah, exactly. Right. I agree, 100%.
Right, and it's $99 is cheaper than $60 games, right? And you don't have to have it every month. You can, I didn't like it, and there's no other games I'm playing right now on Game Pass, so I'm just not going to pay for it for a couple months until, that update on that one game comes out or whatever.
I think the kind of games, but I think the kind of games that like for instance, like Power World is, especially a game that's not officially out. This is just early release right now, and on top of that, it's a survival game. Does run its track eventually, but there are certain games that for instance, like I'm definitely getting Final Fantasy VII Remake and stuff like that. For whatever the cost is for that game, because that's the game that's a ridiculously story-driven game.
They can have my house. They can have everything that you need. I got you.
Now, for all games, no, you're totally right. I think people's like limits are definitely going to vary from how people are going to be playing. But like certain games that like, can you imagine like for instance, you may if you get a Game Pass, you may very well will never have to buy another Call of Duty ever at this point.
Right.
Like at that point, until they decide, okay, we're going to shut the servers down, we're going to switch over to this or whatever. But still, it's just these kind of things are just like something like that would entice me to want to get Game Pass. But what sucks for me is the fact that some of these games are not something that I actually physically have. Just in case they could easily shut it down, they could easily do whatever the hell they're wanting to do with it on their side, and there's nothing that I could do about it, and there's nothing that I would be able to do about it. That's what sucks. And plus, Power World on Game Pass is only 4 players, where that's the giant caveat right now.
That's going to be changing though. That is going to be opening up. That's part of their roadmap. Okay. In terms of that, and that had to do more with the licensing thing, I believe, as opposed to whatever, but. Yeah, but I think too though is that think about your average consumer. We're fucking gamers. We look at this stuff. We, what I mean? Like a lot of people are just like, oh, $9.99, you get a bunch of games. Like you can play it on the TV. internally. You can play it through cloud gaming. You can play it on a freaking fridge. You can play it over there. You can play it over here. And all I got to do is have some controllers. Yeah, I'm going to get that as opposed to getting a console
on the fridge
or anything. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You absolutely can. Yes. Not only that, but you also got to think about oh my gosh. There is something that happened over in Europe that opened up. It was against Apple in terms of their store, and they can now have third-party stores in Apple things. It happened over there. I think it's only a matter of time, maybe, that it happens over here. But they're prepping for that stuff because now you're reaching into mobile gamers, mobile phones, which is way more. And I know Davis hates on mobile every time, but I think there's way more people that have phones than have consoles, PCs, all that shit.
Well, it's definitely
You're telling me I can have Game Pass on and you can already do that. You know what I mean? Like I could do it through Backbone, but now they'll be able to have their own independent store, the cloud shit, all that stuff and whatnot on, I think that's going to be even bigger than the other. That's actually what I thought they were going to be talking about, is how they were going to be aggressively doing that with that new act, or what I can't remember, marketer something or another act. It's some, look it up. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it is a thing over in the EU that passed that, again, Epic's going to have a field day over there as well. It basically opens up those restrictions. Although Apple's still out there trying to do shenanigans. They've changed their rules to basically circumvent or try to circumvent in a legal way around this new act. So
it's very true. We'll see. I mean, we'll definitely see how this is going to go. I mean, like I said,
Netflix games, absolutely. They just have a shitty UI that you have to go outside of Netflix to actually play the games. Which
I asked a friend about that one, and I was just like, why are y'all being so dumb about it? But anyways,
so dumb.
We ran out of time, so Lex, sorry, we're gonna have to skip out until next week for a topic on your side. You okay?
Oh, my bad.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, dude, it was a good topic. On top of that, you're muted, Lex. I can't hear you. Can you hear her? I can't hear her.
I don't hear her at all. Probably those issues.
Not this nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But anyways, but folks, thank you for listening to episode number 208 of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as always. We will be back again next week with a whole new set of different kinds of topics as always. But if you did miss out on this episode, that is perfectly okay. We release it on all podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts. Almost. I almost did it. Yep. Apple and Google Podcasts. Well, technically, Google Podcasts is almost gone though too. So yeah, gotta be careful. So, but there is absolutely no reason to miss out on all sexy voices. Ooh. Guys, also be sure check out the other podcasts that I like to do, Pop Culture Gems, where Damon Mills was my guest, and we had a really fun interview with him. He was a delight. He played what did he play? He played a character from Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. I forgot the name of this guy, the main bad guy of Crisis Core. Who was that besides Sephiroth?
Similar to Sephiroth.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name. No,
Sephiroth Jr. Let's go with that. But guys, yeah, he played him.
It was a good interview.
It was definitely a really fun interview with it. So guys, definitely check that out. But guys, once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing out. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.